Football Manager 2023 has finally been released, and so has the full version of the real name fix from sortitoutsi. Hello there and welcome back. Today we are going to have a look at how to install the full real name fix for the main game of Football Manager 2023. Now you're going to be sat there thinking, well, what is a real name fix and why do I need it? So, not all leagues and teams in Football Manager are licensed, and some have got different names because of that licensing reason. Now, the real name fix has been around for so many years, and basically what it does is it renames all of the leagues and the clubs and everything like that. Anything that's got a licensing issue is given the real name so it all looks authentic. It also fixes things like the kit colours in Brazil being different, the national team in Germany and Holland, for example, and Japan. It fixes an array of things. But the main thing that you'll notice if you play in England is that Manchester United are called Manchester UFC in the base game. And this fixes that. This makes them called Manchester United. Now, if you were with us during the beta, we had a video on how to install the real name fix then. It's slightly different now because the full game is released and the pre-game editor is released, which means that the real name fix can do more things easier and is a bit more powerful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to download the latest version. We'll set that download going right now. And whilst that is going, I'll show you where you need to go on your computer to get everything installed. It's handy because we're on the website right now. If we scroll all the way down, we can see the instructions. There's the video that we just talked about for the beta. And what you need to do is basically follow the instructions in this video or read the instructions yourself once you've watched this video and got an idea of what you need to do. And there are a few locations that you need to go to. First one is the first one up here on screen. So because I've got the game on Windows through Steam, I'm going to show you that method. There are equivalent locations for Game Pass, for Epic, and for Mac users, which are all going to be on the screen in a second as we click here. This is how you do it for Game Pass. There's instructions on what you need to go through. You need to enable mods and all that sort of thing, and then basically go to the location here. It says Football Manager 2022, but I assume it all works the same for Football Manager 2023. And then there's an equivalent folder for Epic, which we'll show you here as well. It's basically the same as the Steam one. It just says Epic instead of Steam, and the location is ever so slightly different. But there you go, it's on screen right now. And for Mac, if we do the same, you go through the location here, and it gives you the task of what you need to do. So you need to go to a finder, go to folder, paste in the path there, and it'll take you to the right place. There's sometimes some differences with different OSs for Mac. So the library folder itself is hidden, but there's ways to undo that if you're one of those. I think it's Mac Lion. But basically, there are instructions for all of the other platforms right here on the website. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how and where to go on Steam and Windows. Okay then, so it's quite simple, but it's a little bit fiddly if you go through. If you just paste in the location that's on the website, that'll be the easiest way to do it. But if you don't, you go to this computer. Your C drive is where you normally install things. If it's not your C drive, that'll be somewhere else. Program files, and then Steam, Steam apps, Common, Football Manager 2023, Data, Database, DB, we're going all the way through here, and then it's 2300, so that's the base game. Once it's been patched, you'll have to do this again, so it'll be 2301 or 2302, etc. But you do the same process again, it's just this folder here is ever so slightly different. So you go into this folder, and this is the same folder that you went into on the beta as well, so the files in here might be from the beta, might be from the fresh install of the game. It is depending on whether you've done this before, but this is the folder you need to go in, and we'll show you what you need to put in here. Right, so you head over to your downloads folder. This is where the file should have downloaded now, the zip file that you've just downloaded from the website. What you need to do is extract this file. So I use 7-zip, you can use WinRAR, WinZip, Mac has one built in. There's all plenty of options on how to extract your files. And if you just do, as I'm doing here on screen, extract here, and into your downloads folder, and that is exactly what you need to do with this one. It'll create a folder which you need to go into. There's installation instructions as well, which you can follow, which match the ones on the website in this video, but you can have a look at those yourself if you need to. But go into this folder, and you should see a couple of folders within here, as you can see here. So there's a DBC, an editor data folder, which is new for the main game, the EDT, and the LNC folder. And as you can see over on this side, in the database folder from Steam, you've got a DBC, an EDT, and an LNC folder. Right, what you do is you go back to your database folder from Steam, and you select these three folders. You leave the 2300_FM folder, you leave that there, and you just delete those 3 folders. You don't need them anymore. We're going to put our new ones in. So that just leaves that 1 folder in there. So if you zip back over to your downloads folder, and you can see all there's 3 folders there. You don't want to take the editor data folder just yet. What you want to do is take these 3, the DBC, the EDT, and the LNC folder, and just drag them across into the Steam database folder. That'll copy it all across. And you should see, if we have a look in those folders now, they should match what I've got on screen. So if we check out the DBC folder first, you can see here there are a load of DBC files all named differently here. There's a permanent folder as well, which has got something else in. If you look, some more DBC files. Excellent. That's all gone in properly. And if you go to the EDT folder, again, there's permanent, and there'll be a lot of EDT files in here. There are, yep, so that's youth grades, future chairman, things like that, sugar daddy clubs. Perfect, everything in there. And then the LNC file, which is going to have awards, city, club, stadium names, competition, and other fixtures. That's all in there. There's something you can use those for later, which we'll show you later in the video if you've already started a save game. But that is what you need to do for these files. Next, we're going to show you what you need to do with that other folder, the edited data folder. Okay, then the next step, and we're going to consult the instructions on the website as well, just to make sure we're doing it in the right place. We've got to go to our documents, Sports Interactive Football Manager 2023, not 22 as it says there, this needs to be updated on the website, and then edit a data folder. Now for Windows, it is just as simple as that, and I'll show you that in a second, but for Mac, it's ever so slightly different. You need to go to your library, your application Sports Interactive, and then you should find your Football Manager 2023 folder, and within that, an edit a data folder. Again, if you go to the Finder, go to Go on the menu bar, down all the way to Go to Folder, and paste in that location. It should be there. There are more instructions on screen which you can follow if you're a Mac user, but for Windows, just follow me. So this is what your Football Manager 2023 document folder looks like, the user data folder. Basically, you've got a graphics folder in here, which if you've seen other videos on the channel, which you can check out up there, that's where you put all your graphics, like your logos, your kits, your player faces, your backgrounds, and everything like that. They all go in there. There's a skins folder, a tactics folder. We've covered these in the Day 1 Essentials video. You can check that out as well. But what we need is the editor data folder. So that should be there by default. And there should be a config file in there, which gets produced every time the game starts. So don't worry about that. And what we need to do now is head back to our download. There should just be an editor data folder left. If we go in there, there should be 9 files in here, FMF files, which cover things like 3-letter name fixers, Ajax staff, bookmakers, Brazilian kits, club names, Germans, Italian licenses, Manchester United media files. They're all in there. They're all the files that you need to move across. So select them all and drag them across into your editor data folder, like so. And they should all appear there. And they are the ones that we need to select when we start a new game. Okay, one last thing to do before we head into game is obviously you need to update this real name fix file every single time there is a patch or an update to the game and there's a new database created by Sports Interactive. So the best thing you can do is subscribe to the thread on the website, and that will basically get you an update every time the file is updated. You'll get a message and it'll pop up and it'll track what needs to be done. There's also a download tracker, so you see here up here I've got 5 next to my downloads. That's because there are 5 different files that I've downloaded in the past, which have been updated since I last downloaded them, so I need to go on there and download all the updates. But I'm not doing that today. I'm going to show you how to subscribe to this channel. It's quite well, yes, subscribe to this channel for a start, but also subscribe to this thread. It's quite simple. The instructions are on screen now. I'll let you read them as well, so you pause if you'd like to. But basically, what you need to do is there's 3 little dots next to the top, which I'll show you right now, and you can edit the subscription. If I scroll all the way back up to the top, see these 3 dots here next to where it says FM23. Click those, subscribe. That's all you need to do. You need to click subscribe, and it will give you this page here to create a subscription. So we want instant. That's fine. Yep, that tells you the subscription frequency. You can either get a notification or an email. I'm going to select an email to get an email, basically, so I know when I'll get an email every time the file is updated. And that's what you want here. So the file is updated. You want an email. You don't want it anytime everyone comments, because you get a constant barrage of emails when people are commenting, thanking Mons for his fantastic work on the real name fix. Please do that as well once you've downloaded and got it working. That's an important step. And then basically just click save. Okay, so that is all that we need to do outside of the game if you're about to start a new save on Football Manager 2023. If you've already started a save and want the real name fix to apply, there's an extra step which we'll cover after we've been in game to set everything up. And we'll show you how to get the real name fix to apply mid-save. It's not going to apply everything, but it will apply most of the things you'll need. Okay, so we head into FM23 and click Start a New Game. And obviously go through the normal way of starting a game by going to Career, but there's going to be something different. So what you need to do here at the database at the top is where it says Football Manager 2023. There will be editor data files that now appear. By default, if you've just installed them and got nothing else in there at all, it will automatically enable all 9 of the FM23 Sort It Out SI licenses fix files. If they're not, you need to either select all or go through and click them all yourself and hit confirm, and that will make sure that they are loaded in with your database when you start a new game. And you'll notice that advanced setup is now the only option you can choose because you've got custom databases installed. So if you click on advanced setup, it will take you to a screen that looks a little bit like this. And just for this video, I'm going to basically set up a game using just the Premier League and nowhere else, so it's nice and quick. So we can show off some of the fixes that are included in the real name fix file. If you just simply remove any other leagues that pop up and select the English levels down to Premier League only, that should make your game really, really fast. 5-star. In fact, we'll go to a small database as well just to make it really quick to load up. And we'll just go straight. We'll ignore any of the other settings as well right now because they're not really important. You set your game up how you want to set them up, as long as you've done that step beforehand where you've selected the 9 database files to begin with to load them into the database. Everything will go fine from there. So we'll let the game load up now, set the database up, and I'll come back when we're in game and I can show you some of the clubs and fixes that have been put in place by the real name fix. Okay, so the database has loaded, the game has started. I've gone into the Premier League just because that is the league we've got loaded in the game. And the immediate thing you can see here is that Manchester United is now called Manchester United and not Manchester UFC. So as you can see, it says Manchester United here. We've got logos, by the way, and kits and faces. There are videos on the channel that you can watch to see how to install all of those things, and skins as well, because this isn't the default skin. Backgrounds are on here as well. Basically, everything that you want on screen can be found on the channel here. But the main important thing for this video is that it says Manchester United and not Manchester UFC. Now we're going to have a look at some other clubs and leagues around the world to check that they've all installed as well. So one of the clubs that I mentioned originally was Real Betis, and they are now called Real Betis, which is all good as well. We're going to have a look more through. I think Napoli is another club, which by default is called Parthenope, and now they are called SSC Napoli, so that real name fix has worked as well. We'll check out the German national team, which again by default can't have the real players in the side, but you can see here that the real players are in the side. They're not grayed out fake players, which is all good. And another key one to note is Brazilian clubs. So they by default just appear as their 3-letter abbreviation, but you can see now we've got clubs like Flamengo. If we click on their profile as well, you can see here, there they are, and their kits are in the right colours as well. We haven't got a kit pack installed for Brazil just yet, so obviously that is why the kits are in their default style right now. But as you can see, if we go through some more Brazilian clubs, they're all there with their correct name. So then the real name fix has installed correctly when you start a new game. We're going to jump now into what you need to do if you've already started a game and want to update your save game with real club names. We'll do that right now. So if you've already made a save game, but you want to retroactively apply the real name fixes to clubs, there is a step that you need to take here, which we're going to go through right now. So what you need to do is you need to open one of the LNC files with Notepad. If you've not opened one with a Notepad before, basically, just right-click and go down to Open With and just select Notepad. And then you can edit basically what we're going to do on screen right now. It tells you what you need to do here, and all it basically involves is a find and replace. So I'll do that now for you and show you what you need to do. So if you go back to that LNC folder, which is in the Steam apps, database folder, there's a file called City, Club and Stadium Names. Now obviously I've opened LNC files as Notepad in the past, but you just right click, open with, and there's basically just select Notepad and it'll open up like any other text file like this. So you do a Control F to get the find and replace box up. You do the little arrow on the left if replace isn't there, and you do hashtag speech mark club and then replace that with speech mark club. You hit replace all and it will replace all of the club real name fix changes in here. It will get rid of nicknames though, but it will basically change the club long name and the club short name. There are instructions in the file as well if you need to do that. And that is it, basically. That is how you apply the fixes to the club names within a game already. You can see here, though, that there are pros and cons of doing so. And if you want to start a new game, it is recommended that you put the hashtag basically to comment out the club section back in, and then you can start your game again fresh using the editor data files. And there we have it. If you've got any issues with installing this real name fix, let us know in the comments down below, but please go through once again and make sure you've tried all of the steps, done them all in the correct order, because it's quite fiddly sometimes if it's the first time you've done it. If you're seeing issues and it's not working, let us know on the website and in the comments down below, and we'll try and get some help out to you as soon as possible. Please hang around for more videos on the channel. There's going to be a playlist with all of the essentials and how to install everything coming up right now, and more great content coming your way. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.